Hello, 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 everyone. I hope everybody's doing well today. Now we're back to live online, and it stinks. And just some quick updates. We are going to be live through the month of January as well. We will not meet in January. So as you all are, planning to go back to school or self-quarantine, just realize that we will not meet in person until February, that first Wednesday in February. So, yeah, it stinks, and I apologize, but that's just going to be the best that we can do. Instagram is there. You go. I think I just fixed Instagram. We're good there. All right. So no live until January. January will be the first time that we come back live. So with that being said, we're going to be in Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 18 today. Matthew chapter 2, 1 through 18. And we're going to finish up this series on the worst Christmas ever. Right now, everybody might think like, hey, this might be the worst Christmas ever because, half of my friends on Facebook are quarantining, or half the people I know just couldn't meet with family because their family was old. I just got a word that, one of my friends from high school passed away because of COVID-19. So this Christmas hasn't been, the greatest Christmas ever. Reason being is just because this whole virus, and people don't understand. And you can think back to, the time of Jesus, and this is what we're going to look at. This time where King Herod was born, or King Herod was king, and he was, the king. And anybody that is the king doesn't want another king to come in and try to be the king, right? And when the wise men came and said, where's the king of the Jews? And everybody's like, or King Herod's looking at him like, no, I'm the king. I don't know what you're talking about. Which is going to get us into our verses right here is where we're going to start at, right? So Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 18. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of King Herod, wise men from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star at its rising and have come to worship him. Who watched the star on the 21st? If you were able to watch the star, to me, it was just two little dots in the sky. I couldn't imagine what it actually would look like, but those two dots in the sky, that there was some pictures that I saw that it was really bright, and then there was some that it was just like, they barely kind of touched. It just depends on where you were. Kind of like, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, so with that being said, right, it's kind of crazy to think that the star led these wise men to Judea. So when they came to King Herod, and King Herod heard this in verse 3, he said he was deeply disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. So he assembled all the chief priests and the scribes and the people and asked them where the Christ would be born. So he gathered everybody together, because anybody that's going to come in and say that they're going to be king isn't going to be king. That's the first thing he said. He's like, I got to take care of this guy before this guy takes care of me. Now, it's just a baby, right? Like, what is King Herod thinking? In Bethlehem of Judea, they told him, because this was written by the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means last among the rulers of Judea, because out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. And then in verse 7, then Herod secretly summoned the wise men and asked them the exact time the star appeared. He sent them to report back to me so that I too can go and worship him. Now, we all know how this works out. King Herod had no desire to go and worship, the baby. He just wanted the ability to come and find where the baby was so he could take care of the baby. And it's kind of sad, and that's why this makes this one of the worst Christmases ever in the eyes of King Herod, because King Herod didn't understand what was going on. Jesus didn't come to be the ruler of this earth in person. He had no desire to be the king that sat on a throne here on earth. Jesus had bigger plans. And no matter how hard he tried, Herod could not halt the plans of God. Despite the difficult circumstances that come our way, know that nothing can separate you from God's love, forgiveness, and redemption. So as we continue to go through here, verse 9, after hearing the king, they went their way, and there it was. The star had seen at its rising. It led them until it came and stopped above a place where the child was born. Verse 10, when they saw the star, they were overwhelmed with joy. Entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and falling on their knees, and they worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their own country by a different route. Because King Herod wasn't, pure in his heart, and King Herod he was more worried about his kingdom and his kingmanship. He didn't really want to go and worship Jesus. And the wise men were warned about this. The wise men were told, hey, you need to go a different way. So after they were gone, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, get up, take the child and his mother, and flee to Egypt. And stay there until I tell you, for Herod is about to search for the child to kill him. So he got up, took the child and his mother during the night, and escaped to Egypt. And he stayed there until Herod's death, so that it was spoken that the Lord through a prophet might be fulfilled. Out of Egypt I call my son. And then in verse 16, this one's titled The Massacre of the Innocents. Then Herod, when he realized that he had been outwitted by the wise men, flew into a rage, and he gave orders to massacre all the boys in and around Bethlehem who were there, 2 years old and under, in keeping with the time that he had learned from the wise men. Then he was spoken through Jeremiah, the prophet was fulfilled. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping in great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and she refused to be consoled because they were no more. So there's a few things that I want to actually hit up here, right? So the first thing is I want to talk about the star on the 21st. And the star on the 21st, it talks about how the star of Bethlehem led the wise men to Jesus. Now, Jesus wasn't a baby at this time, because at this time, King Herod just killed all the kids ages 2 and under. So scientists are always trying to prove or trying to give this background of, hey, this is why we have this, or this is why this happens, or this is why this happens, right? Well, if I remember correctly, I went outside to look at the star. We got a new dog at the house, so I was playing with the dog too. But I looked up at the star, and I think it lasted for about 45 minutes. 45 minutes after sunset. And if you didn't catch it at the perfect time, you didn't actually see the star. This star led the wise men every night until they found where Jesus was born. So you're going to try to explain to me if this bright star happened for 45 minutes? No, that's not how that works. That star was there because Jesus put it there, because God put it there. All right. And God had this plan to bring grace and mercy through humanity through Jesus Christ. That star didn't happen by coincidence. That star was placed there on purpose. And nothing could stop this from happening. And I want to point out that you might face difficult circumstances all throughout this next year, right? We've all been through our trials of 2020, some good, some bad. We've been on top of the mountains. We've been at the bottom of the valley, saying we might face these difficult circumstances and even evil, but rest assured that those things that hurt the body, they cannot touch the spirit, right? Even King Herod, he killed all the children ages 2 and under, wasn't able to touch Jesus. And Christmas is a time when we come together as a family. And this year we might not have been able to come together as a family. We've not been able to come and, release our troubles and celebrate the holidays, right? But what we do when Christmas isn't a joyful season, what do we do when Christmas isn't a joyful season? What about when it brings more hurt than it brings happiness? What do you do when you're struggling to find those people that are struggling to find that happiness, right? One, you be content with what you have. I enjoyed spending Christmas with my kids and my wife, right? And I was able to. Donnie just sent me a message. Thanks, Donnie. Appreciate it. Got me off topic. But what do we do? What about it when it brings more hurt than it brings happiness, right? So as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, the Christmas time and how, Bo just got out of quarantine on the 24th, so I wasn't able to go see my entire family on the 24th. I was able to go down there Saturday and see the majority of my family, and we had a blast and we had fun. And it's not about what you want; it's about what you have. And what I have is my family, and I know my family is always going to have my back, no matter how far apart we are, no matter how quarantine tied up we are. We're always going to be together. And so, I want to leave you with two things, right? Take time today to pray for the kids who find Christmas to be difficult. And this could be your friends, your family. Like I said, a lot of people I know have recently passed away because of COVID. And so this Christmas time isn't going to be a happy time for them, more than likely. There's kids all over the world who didn't get the Christmas that they had been dreaming of for their entire lives. So take the time to pray for those people and pray that Jesus has come to heal our brokenness. Jesus was called out of Egypt, and Jesus, lived his life to save us. And I want you to pray for those kids that even though they didn't get the gift that they wanted, even though that they didn't get the things that they needed, that the one thing that they search for this next year is Christ in their hearts. And I want to leave y'all with this. Evil shines brightly in this passage. King Herod had a dark intent in his life, and Jesus came into the dark world to shine a bright, redeeming light. Jesus is that light in the dark. And no matter how dark this next year gets or these next few months get, just realize that if we search for the light, if we search for Christ, he will lighten up our life. All right. If you want to put a picture with my words right now, think about hanging up Christmas lights, right? I know everybody's probably putting their Christmas stuff up. So as y'all put y'all's Christmas stuff up, I want you to take a Christmas light and I want you to hold it across your room, and I want you to plug it in. Turn all the lights off. Wait till it's dark outside. I want you to plug it in. And each one of those light bulbs is a person, is a Christian, right? And the more Christians and the more lights that we have together, we can brighten up any room in this world. All right. So as Christians, I encourage y'all this upcoming year to really pray over these next few days of what you want to accomplish in 2021. And I pray that y'all be a light in the dark, because, we are the ones who bring happiness to this world. And I say it all the time, and I want to say it one more time this year. You're going to hear it one more time. Jesus didn't come to comfort. Jesus came to confront. And we are here to bring light in the dark. And it's not going to be easy, but we can do it together as a family, as Christians. All right. So, I love each and every one of y'all. I've had a blast this last year. Once again, we are not going to meet anymore on Wednesday nights. If you've been coming on Wednesday nights, I will be live on all three of these devices, right? Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you ever need anything, go ahead and holler. If y'all have prayer requests, go ahead and send them to me. You can send me a text message. You can send me send it through a reminder. Y'all can shoot me an email. My phone number is 865-599-7269. And me and my wife will pray for you, and I'll send it to the small group leaders. That way we can go ahead and pray, right? I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all really on Wednesday nights is what I look forward to throughout the week, and I enjoy coming and hanging out with y'all. So we won't be able to have a kickoff in January, but we will kick off in February, right? We're going to kick it off the right way. All right. So if you've watched this, if you're still watching this, go ahead and type your name in so I can count y'all in the attendance. Let's pray, and we will. I'll see y'all on Wednesday night, or I'll see y'all in the new year. All right, let's pray. Lord, I just want to thank you for all the many blessings you bore upon us. I just want to thank you for giving us a place and a time and an opportunity to come and grow in our knowledge of you, Lord. You're awesome and you're powerful, and we love you, and we thank you for all that you've done, Lord. And I know that Christmas can be dark for some people, and over the last year, this whole entire year has really just been dark for us. And I pray that as we start this new year, that we come together as these Christmas lights to light up this world. That Christmas tree in the pitch black can light up the entire room. And I pray that each light, each Christian, each youth member be their own light. But they don't be their own light. They be your light. and they look to you for guidance. They look for you to strength, and as they grow in that knowledge of you, that light shines through them. I pray that you're using them to glorify your kingdom with everything that you do. I pray for safety. I pray for strength, Lord. I pray for a hedge protection. All the spoken and unspoken prayer requests, Lord, I pray that you continue just to bless them and lead them and guide them as you do your will. We love you and thank you for all that you do. In your heavenly name I pray. Amen. Y'all have a great day.